Well, our reporter Lindsay Dendlinger is in the parliamentary precinct already this morning and is joining us now live. Well, slowly and surely, Lindsay, we're building up to President Ramaphosa's fourth State of the Nation address tonight. But leaders are beginning to arrive as they get ready themselves.
Indeed, yes. Good morning, Dan. Leaders of the various political parties are already around the precinct nice and early this morning, telling us what they want to hear the President say this evening. Too much rhetoric, they say. They want a concrete plan of action. And one of those people looking for a concrete plan of action is John Steenhuisen, the leader of the official opposition. John, good morning. Thank you for joining us. You presented your alternative State of the Nation yesterday. What would your alternative State of the Nation be?
Well, it will be very much a very bold and brave announcements around state-owned entities. They're a ticking time bomb on the balance sheet of South Africa. We need to restructure Eskom. We need to get out of the business that government has no business being in. And unless the President pronounces quite strongly on that and sets the clear direction this evening, instead of the equivocation and vacillation we've seen of the last two Sonas, we're going to have a serious problem. And then he's got to announce something about how we're going to stimulate job creation. He's promised jobs in the last two Sonas. The truth of the matter is we've lost jobs. He's promised a growing economy. The economy has contracted. Dreams, virtuous ends are not going to cut it. He's going to have to announce bold, concrete plans about how we're going to get South Africans back to work. And then he's going to have to, I think, make some pronouncements around clarifying where we are at with expropriation without compensation. It is severely undermining his investment drive and being able to land both local investor and international investor confidence. And then basic service delivery. One of the things that struck me in my last 2 weeks being out in all 9 provinces is just the terrible state of basic services in local municipalities, riddled with corruption, completely incapable to even provide the most basic of services, leaving many, many communities without the dignity of water, sanitation and electricity. You're not going to build a capable state if you're not able to build a capable local government. So there needs to be an action stations plan about how we fix local government, and then absolutely making sure how we keep South Africans safe. South Africans across all communities, rural, urban, township and city dwellers, all feel unsafe in their communities. We need a policing plan that's going to be modernise our policing service in South Africa.
For many of those watching the State of the Nation address tonight will be how do they get a job? What's the DA's plan? What would the DA tell the President as to how to get South Africans in a job?
Well, the first thing you've got to do is create a proper investment environment where we're able to attract large-scale, labour-intensive manufacturing jobs into South Africa. You don't do that by destroying the investor environment. You don't do it by undermining property rights in South Africa. The second thing is we've got to relax the draconian labour legislation that is a major impediment to people absorbing labour in South Africa. One of the ways he can start is by exempting small, medium and micro enterprises as well as entrepreneurial startups from the more draconian aspects of the legislation, make sure they're implementing the Basic Conditions of Employment Act but incentivizing them to create jobs. Then making sure absolutely that we focus on the skills pipeline so that what's coming out from our schools and from our higher education institutions as well as our vocational training institutions are South Africans with the skills, science, technology, engineering, maths to drive the new economy and to absorb the new jobs that economy is going to bring. These are just a number of small interventions that could be made almost overnight that would fundamentally alter the jobs bloodbath that we're facing.
John, just lastly, Eskom has featured prominently in the past 3 State of the Nation addresses, the albatross around government's neck. The President has said much about Eskom in the past. What do you want to hear him say about Eskom tonight?
I want to hear him saying that he's going to free this nation from Eskom and the monopoly that it holds. It's unable to provide the electricity. I want him to say that he's going to unbundle Eskom. We're going to sell the gas-fired, the coal-fired power stations to pay off Eskom's debt and to lift the cap and allow businesses and households to generate electricity, provide it into the grid and allow municipalities to procure directly from independent power producers. Overnight, he will unleash a revolution of energy revolution in South Africa that will create hundreds of jobs and get us onto a more sustainable footing where we won't have these rolling blackouts that are killing jobs and killing the economy. We need to give power back to the people, and you do that by involving them in the solution.
Thank you very much. That's John Steenhuisen, the DA opposition leader, setting out what he wants to hear the president say, and the DA's alternatives to the problems facing the country of high unemployment, stagnant economic growth, and of course, as I said, that albatross around government's neck, what's it going to do about Eskom?